Very special episode of Paranormal Misfits Podcast, a part of the You Run Podcast Network. Make sure to check out You Run, where you can find amazing podcasts that talk about cryptids, paranormal, the weird, and ones like ours. My name is Nino Daniel, and I'm one half of this duo.
I'm Chrissy. Hi.
And welcome to the Paranormal Misfits Podcast, where the curious roam, the weird feels at home, and horror is just another day in the office. Chrissy, what do we have going on today?
Oh my God, we have a special episode. So everyone knew we were on hiatus for the holidays.
And we still are, so plot twist, don't fucking expect anything anytime soon.
But Jose reached out and he was so excited about his newfound horror film, Heretics, that he asked us if he could come on with his lovely cast and talk about the movie. So here we are.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jose, JJ,
Yes.
Scott, and Shelby for joining us today.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. Honestly, I'm so glad you guys allowed me to come back.
Absolutely.
Because I had such an amazing time talking Monster Mash with you guys. And I said, if anybody's going to get this fucking movie, it's these guys. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. And a quick heads up to all of our listeners. I recently found out that Monster Mash is now available on Tubi.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to see a Jose Prendez directed film featuring Ethan Daniel Corbett's cheekbones, go ahead and head over to Tubi. And Heretics, go ahead and head over to Tubi. Heretics is also now video on demand. You can do Fandango at home, Apple, and where else, Jose, can they watch this?
Oh my gosh, it's everywhere. It just finished its theatrical run, which is pretty nice, but it is available, and I have it listed here. Charter Spectrum, Comcast, Xfinity, Cox Contour, Verizon On Demand, Dish, DirecTV. It will be on Amazon Prime eventually. It's on Google Movies and TV, Microsoft Movies and TV, as well as Hoopla if you have that app.
Well, damn.
Yeah, it's. I mean, say what you will about the asylum. At least they get the movies out there.
I know, yeah, they do. So we've got a pretty neat episode lined up, like we said, and we are very much still on hiatus. We want to confirm that. So we'll be back in February. I don't even know. Well, we'll be back when we're back, babe. But I want to take a moment and just have everyone introduce themselves to our audience and either the role you play in the film or the part you were with production. And we'll go ahead and start off with Jose. I'm just kidding. Everyone knows who you are.
I was going to say, you'd probably leave me for last, but sure. Hi, I'm Jose Prendez, the director of this madcap circus of improv, which we'll get into details. That's pretty much all I did on this one. There was a writer, his name is Ryan Ebert. He sort of gave us a 20-page outline, which was sort of our goal, but, everything was concocted by the cast and myself on the spot, which is an experiment that I didn't think would work out as well as it did. At least I think so. That's me.
Beautiful. JJ, tell us about you.
Alrighty, I'm JJ. I played Brett on the Heretics film. I think I'm lagging like crazy right now.
We got you.
You guys can still hear me.
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
Perfect. And then Scott, tell us about yourself.
Hi, my name is Scott Mazapika. I play Greg in the hit blockbuster film Heretics. I met Jose just through a random audition that I got in my inbox. I was on set for one of the 4 days of this very fast turnaround shoot, and I still made a whole big group of friends in just that one 12-hour shoot.
Hell yeah. Thank you. Shelby.
Hi. Oh, wow, okay, I feel like Scott really set it up. Like, dang. Hi, I'm Shelby Wright. I played Jessica in Heretics with an S. Yeah, like Scott said, very quick turnaround, but it was very fulfilling, and we're all besties now, so that's that.
I love that. I actually want to, since that's kind of like a topic of discussion, that was one of the things I wanted to ask is, like, give me the timeline. Okay, like from the cast is cast to wrap day, how long was the process?
Okay, so I was in the middle of writing what in my mind was going to be my next movie, and it was Killer Doll, which we could talk about later. And I was balls deep in that script, and I'm like, this is great. This is going to be it. And then a friend of mine, the guy who produced Monster Mash, was like, oh, guess what? We're doing a found footage movie. We're shooting it in 4 days, and there's no script. And I'm like, that's fucking dumb, dude. That's crazy. Good luck with that shit. And then I started thinking about, like, man, kind of fun to do. That'd be kind of an interesting challenge to kind of tackle. And they were having trouble finding a director. So this was like 2 weeks before filming. They didn't have a director. So, I wrote back and I go, do you have a director for this found footage thing? And he goes, why, would you be interested? I go, maybe. I mean, the fact that it's no script and we can kind of just do our own thing and have freedom, that'd be kind of nice, because they're very strict over at Asylum normally. So I reached out to the main producers, and they're like, yeah, we don't have anybody. If you want it, it's yours, just so you know. It's less money, less time. And I said, well, the only way to do that is, if we shoot it on our phones. We actually shot the whole movie on this. I still have it on here. So they said, okay, fine. Yeah, shoot it on the phone so that it looks, like found footage, and then go. Have fun. And it was an easy, like, yeah, fuck yeah. This is, and then everyone's like, man, 4 days. I don't know. We knew 6 days was tough. Are we going to do it in 4 days? I go, are you kidding me? We're shooting on the phone and there's no lines to remember. We don't have to set up lights. This is going to be a blast. Of course, the key was finding the right actors. So then casting came in. I wasn't a part of that process initially. The sides went out and it was just like all improv kind of stuff. So I watched everybody's tape and then I whittled it down to the cast that we got. And it is, I call it literally cinema kismet, that the cast was not only willing to play, but so good. You can do improv and it can be really fucking bad. This improv was pretty fucking bad. No, it's great. This cast is so good.
Ouch.
No, this cast is so, like, from the beginning, guys. This is what we're up against. This is what we're gonna do. This is gonna be your ultimate acting challenge. Everybody, I need you at your best. And nobody shirked the responsibility. Everybody came in full guns blazing. We shot the movie in 4 days. We had some time. So we had a director's cut in about a week, and then 2 months of post-production, and then here you go. But we shot it in October. Like, we shot it at the beginning of October, just to give you an idea of the window of time we had.
Wow.
We ended on October 1st, actually. So yes, end of September into October. That was it. That's sort of how it all came together and sort of the timeline of events.
That's cool. That's like quick.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. They all are. And I normally wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for the fact that we had the freedom to kind of make it our own. If it was somebody else's script, I think it would have been harder, like a full script.
Mhm.
If it was big, super big effects, if they wanted dragons and shit, that that killed us on Monster Mash. But this was all practical, and as long as my cast was good, that's all I care. Like, if my cast is good, we're good. And 2 hours in, I'm like, these guys all have instantly become friends. I was the unofficial 8th member, third wheel behind the camera, and I loved working with these guys very much. They made it very easy.
Oh, that's beautiful. How was it for each of you? Like, did it feel like a sprint? Did you guys have time to connect with each other on a personal level? Because the chemistry was legit amazing on screen. Or on phone, depending on how you want to talk about it.
Honestly, we became friends really, like, Jose just trapped us in a room and just forced us to become friends, and it actually ended up being pretty easy for everyone. It was fun. I mean, I hit it off with Scott and Shelby, like, right away, and we just sat there and, like, I mean, when I first got there, there was, like, I didn't know where to go. Me and Shelby were just kind of standing there, like, what's going on? Then Jose's like, great, you guys are here. Sorry I didn't get time to meet you. Stop. Go become friends now. Go. And we're like, hi, and almost from there it was like instantly pretty much a click. I feel like it was pretty easy.
Yeah, there was this kind of like shared experience of how rushed we all were. We all had been alerted of the casting about a day before. I was like 24 hours maybe. And then I showed up to set and I was like, oh, wow, everyone is on the same page about how crazy and fast this really is. And so having this kind of communal experience of this shared, like, whoa, what's happening? This is crazy, right? And on top of just being on such similar vibing energy levels with everyone else, general friendship vibes paired with the circumstances just made for this, like, let's try it and see what happens. And when you take that pressure off to just like give it your best shot, it creates magic.
Ooh, not the chef's kiss. I love it. Shelby, how was it for you?
It was definitely, yeah, I mean, it was super quick turnaround. I think I got cast like I want to say 48 hours before. I wasn't even in LA. I was like in Florida about to go to New York, and I was like, cool, we're changing that. So then I came back to LA in a frantic little last minute adventure. Yeah, and then we all got to set, and honestly, it couldn't have been a better group of people to become like bonded with within a short amount of time. Like we got there and everybody was just on the same page of this is let's like come up with some background, like how did we meet, doing all this stuff while also like getting to know each other personally. It was really fun and like everyone got along super well, and yeah, I feel super lucky to have been a part of a cast that just it was super easy for all of us. I mean, it just flowed really well. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Oh, we also, I want to specify because Jose mentioned this prior to recording. This episode will not contain spoilers of Heretics 2020. Just have to like fucking go watch it. There's that for you. That's my gift to you. Watch the fucking movie to see what happens.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I circle back to the auditions. I hate improv. I'm not a fan of it. I have a friend who does a one-man improv show. I've never seen it.
God.
And I love him, but I will never go. Also, he's in Florida, so I have an excuse. Lewis, I love you. I hope you don't. I hope you're not dead, but I don't know why. Anyway,
we're gonna send this to him. Actually,
don't do that. He's amazing. Lewis, you're fantastic. So all the tapes I got were people improving, and it's just me rolling my eyes. Like, So when I got to the people that I chose, I'm like, oh, okay, there's something here, and I'm always looking for that. I'm gonna go back to our pal Ethan. Ethan's my favorite actor I've ever worked with. Sorry, guys, I love you, but Ethan is a motherfucker right there. He's awesome. But this cast, there's a couple people in this cast that just knocked my socks. Everybody did.
Just a couple? Okay.
And I can spotlight them.
I'm just giving you
Eric
shit.
Roberts, number one. So Ethan was a guy in the audition that instantly got the part that I wrote. That's him. That's exactly the fucking guy. That's who I wrote. In the audition, that's what I was looking for. I didn't write the characters. As a matter of fact, before watching the tapes, I hadn't even watched the expanded outline. I just read the 2-pager of what was happening. So I didn't really know the characters, but I knew what I was looking for actors, and I was looking for actors that were genuine, and everybody who delivered a genuine performance quickly rose up in my ranks. And I'm glad Shelby was able to make it because I've gone on to make her the final girl in my next one, and she's incredible.
Ooh.
Which we can talk about later. Scott and JJ, and I want to mention everybody. Anna, Sarah, Neely, and Taryn. These people are amazing. I love them dearly. And I've probably made a nuisance of myself to them. So I apologize, but I love them. So we'll stop there. Continue with your questions, Nino and Chrissy.
I love you. I love the banter. This is why I love we genuinely love having you on because of it. Chrissy, what do you got for them?
All right, so let's see. The location. So Nino and I were discussing about how big that house was.
Actually, how fucking big? Because from the outside, I was like, oh, this shit is 200 cubic meters. Like, this is nothing.
And then they kept going.
This bitch has a fucking curtain and a downstairs and a wide open door and windows no one's using.
It was like a haunted house.
I'm like, hold on. What in the 13th floor entertainment is this? Like, so walk me through that. How'd you find the house? Like, let's do that. And the random ass like boat or whatever that was as they were walking there.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things that Asylum does try to do is get a cool location. So we did location scouts. We had like 2 or 3 days of trying to find a place. I wanted one place that we can exploit. We went up to this one place where it was like a 1-lane road up a side of the mountain. And I'm like, this is not safe. We're going to be shooting at night. I don't want to bring people up here. And people coming down the mountain, tired at the end of the day. No, that's not safe. Then we found this place, which is like 20 minutes from my house. It's like a compound. And they've got like 3 fucking abandoned houses, like back to back. And they have the backyard. So the beginning of the movie, when they're having that party with all the string lights and shit, they are.
That's like a compound house?
It's like that whole area is right there. So, I mean, those lights are like behind that fence are those abandoned houses. So they didn't really have to walk too far. So we shot all 4 days in one location, which is what you want. You want to be landed. You don't want to have to travel around too much. Not that we had trucks and stuff to worry about. We had actual bathrooms. We didn't have to use. Actually, well, I take it back. We did have to move for the last day, but For the house itself, that was one location we had for 3 days, and basically it was 3 abandoned houses that we stitched together the magic of editing to make it look like one big house, not 200 cubic meters or whatever the fuck. I mean, it's a pretty big ass house.
No, it definitely caught us by surprise as we were watching it. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this house looks legit. And then I'm like, there's a curtain with a downstairs.
Yeah?
It was
What the
like,
fuck? That's normal. You ever seen that before?
I mean, in Arizona, we have
Well.
we have cacti in Arizona. That's about all I've got for you, friends. It was cool though. It was giving me like backrooms vibes. Did the downstairs part where like things happened, keeping it spoiler free, was that set up that way, y'all? Or did y'all get to see it prior to filming? Were those reactions genuine? Also, was that a one-way mirror at one point, or am I just imagining something?
I assume you're talking about the anal sex dungeon in the third act. So that place.
That's not the movie you sent me. That's crazy.
Sorry, that's not what.
That's crazy.
Me and my co-star back there. No.
Oh my God.
Jesus. Sorry, I should not have put the bullet in here. Anyway, so there's a guy, who he's an artist. His name is Albert Reyes. Sort of underground, weird art kind of stuff, found objects kind of thing. And he has a haunted house in his backyard, like a full-on haunted house that he built and he keeps up year-round. Just built out of, random pieces of wood and glass and just strange shit. And I'd been to his house before and we'd, gone through the maze and, we'd stayed friends. And I go, man, I want to make a movie here one day. When this came around, it's the first thing I thought of. Like, we got to get to Albert's house. We got to get in there. So that was an easy yes from the producers, and because we needed a place like that, we would not have had a place to do the anal dungeon stuff.
Okay, so really quick, there's no anal sex dungeon for anyone. Like, that's the only spoiler I'll give you because I personally was like, the pizza's reference enough, but there's that. Can I ask the cast this? Because I'm so curious. So obviously throughout the movie, it has nothing to do with sex dungeons or anal stuff. We're going to keep it PG.
Yes,
at
it
most
doesn't.
PG.
I apologize. It's not.
When y'all were in the home and you're doing what you're doing, you're obviously like getting into the role and stuff. I have to know this. Did you at any point know where the masked figure people were? Or was that just kind of like a let's head over here and film something plot fucking twist? We can't leave out the window. Like, did y'all know, or was it planned or not planned? Tell me a little bit more.
There were like, I remember there were some scenes where we would know because we would like need to get that shot to like establish a certain thing. There were other times where we kind of wouldn't know. It was one of those shoots where it was kind of like, well, it was improv, so it was just everything that was happening was like we're just kind of going with stuff. And there were even moments for me where it was like, okay, we're gonna do this thing, and then like we're kind of going, and you kind of just like black out and forget what's happening, and then you're like filming, and you're like, yeah, that this is happening, and like there's always just so much happening. So there were some scenes where like yes, and other scenes where things just happen. Things were just happening.
I love it. And Scott, JJ, any knowledge on the masked figures?
Yeah, I mean, the dudes that were wearing them were just kind of walking around messing with us sometimes. Like, they just started wandering, like, when we were, like, thinking, like, Jose would be, like, thinking about some things, and he's like, okay, maybe we do this. And then they would just walk around, just, like, flashing the flashlight. They'd go outside and, like, mess with us a little bit. So, yeah, so that was kind of fun. I mean, almost like some of it was like planned, like okay, like they have to be planted here. But then like sometimes I'm telling you, they were just like messing with us a little bit. But most of it that was seen was pretty much placed.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, a little BTS knowledge is that Jose actually wore the masks the entire shoot and just would creep up on everyone.
Damn sex dungeon masks.
He's
I
that dungeon. I don't know.
I was like, Scott, just follow me, man. Trust me, bro. No.
Into this compound abandoned house where we film a movie.
I actually did wear the mask once. I can't say when. I do something to somebody, but I can't say what it is.
Damn it.
It's
now
an
we
Easter
can't
egg.
guess now. Now you've set us up to where we can't guess, but I think I know which one you are, if I had to guess.
I don't know. I'm pretty tricky, but I don't know.
Wait, can I ask if you were one of the ones watching the security camera?
No.
Okay. That was
Nope.
where I had guessed you.
No. All right.
I feel like the spoiler-free thing is that he and I have a scene together.
Yeah. Jose, you're lethal.
I
And
had
that's all
such
I'm
a
going to say about
blast.
that. Figuratively and literally.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But no, I mean, in terms of improving, yes, the dialogue was improv, but we're still making a movie. It can't just be random walking around and see what happens. So it had to be, hey, okay, this guy's gonna pop out here. You're gonna be redirected over here. You guys are gonna hide behind the couch. For me, when I'm thinking of a movie, when I usually I'm writing it, I've already thought the movie through 1,000 times in my head. I know what it looks like. I know where it's going. Blah blah blah, and I fix on the day. Okay, well, we can't do this. We don't have time to move outside. So okay, you stand over here. You're gonna move here, do that, and okay, lose these 2 lines. Blah blah blah. Here, there was a lot of downtime where I'm just like, what do we do? So there was a lot of thinking, and it was a collaborative process. But usually the masked demonic guys were set up in advance so that we knew what to expect movie wise.
Those which scene was it? I can't remember I think it might have been Taryn, where like the camera goes up to the window and you can't see anything, and then out of nowhere you just see like the figure, and that was the part where I'm like, I really should not watch this during work hour.
That was JJ. That was a JJ scene. I remember that.
That was the part where I was like, oh, this is scary.
Yeah. That's what you want it to be, a scary movie. I feel like with this one, I've actually made a scary movie. That was my attempt. The other ones have been fun. This one I feel
This
is
was like a
designed to be
scary
visceral.
movie. Yeah.
I made my cast pee their pants. Well, one of them anyway. But
No.
Shelby, who peed their pants? Tell me now. I'm not saying it's you, but
She's
tell me
like,
now.
say it.
She's not here. I don't want to call them out.
Was it hypothetically Neely?
It was hypothetically Neely, yes.
See that? BTS. I'm kidding. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so obviously, when it came to y'all's characters, like, how did you prep for your character? Like, how did y'all kind of develop the character, especially with like that shortened amount of time that you had, and also building the chemistry between each other and like the storylines and everything, since the script was only 20 pages and basically just more of an outline,
Like
and
a
you guys didn't have
guideline?
any, like cliff notes.
Just like the abridged version of what the movie's gonna be.
Like a suggestion.
Like a prompt,
Well, Shelby, you start. But basically, there was a little bit of a character. Sorry, there was basically a little bit of a character thing. Hey, this is Jess. She's blah 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 blah, and then they went off of that. Go ahead, Shelby.
Yeah, we had like a little bit of a character line, but yeah, I mean, it was a lot of just talking amongst each other and kind of figuring out our backgrounds. The fun part was we kind of developed it as we went as well. Like literally as we were filming, we would develop it even more, which was a really interesting thing to do as an actor. But yeah, I mean, we had moments where we would be pulled aside. We would talk about stuff like Scott and I had a moment where we pulled aside, talked to Jose, did this thing happen, and we had a few moments like that. Jose would pull us aside throughout filming and would talk to us, and then of course as actors we would kind of discuss what the background is and that sort of thing. But it was really fun. It was definitely different, I think, for all of us probably.
Yeah, we definitely all just communicated about which facts of the world we were all going to be agreeing upon and navigating through that, because then where all the acting and the storytelling happens is like how we as these characters are relating to the given circumstances that we did agree upon. And we can explore everything within the scene and live really truthfully about all of that. Because if Shelby and I agree on our character's relationship and that can be revealed to JJ's character in the midst of something, he gets to just react completely, fully naturally, knowing that he and I also have a relationship and how that makes him and his character feel. So it just really created a lot of true, natural living in the moment.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, we definitely all established like a dynamic, which was really nice. But also from like the get-go, I kind of like already like knew that my character is going to be sort of like comedic relief, just kind of like really dumb. And I just kind of like tried playing along with that, but also like playing along everybody, since everything was natural, like Scott said, it made it so easy and just so fun to like, everyone helped me just be like more of a comedic dumb character because they were all just like being mean to me. So it was just
Oh my
it
God,
was
no.
more like there is like, oh, it's this guy again saying choinks and all that, and I was like, and Jose even he was like so excited. He was ready. But everybody made it like super. Everything was natural. That helped like develop our characters because like when I first got there, I felt like I was still playing like myself a little bit, but then almost like instantly after talking to like everybody, like okay, like he's this to you, she's like this to you. This is your incentive a little bit. Then it like just stuck in my brain. So every single time, it just felt like we were just going. I was Brett. Everyone was their character. I was forgetting their real names for a second.
I mean, I feel like, isn't that like a good, also I have to ask you, is JJ, was Choinks in the script? In the 20 pages, was Choinks mentioned?
No, it was fucking not. That was 100%.
What?
100%. That was my number one contribution to the movie. You know, here's the thing. Okay, sorry, I'm moving my light. No, in a weird way, I don't have a lot of authorship over the movie. Because I didn't film it. It was the actors holding the cameras. It was the actors talking. Sure, I pointed in the direction I wanted to go, and I asked for certain emotional things, but for the most part, it was a collaborative community thing, and I just kind of stood back and just watched. I was the first audience. Points was my attempt, and it's going to get there, to be the new viral hit word that everyone's going to be using in 2025. So it started here. I put it in my next movie, and I'm just going to keep going with it until it becomes a thing. And by the way, I was on Twitter a couple weeks ago, and somebody had labeled it like a picture of a fat bear. Like, look at this chunky bear. I'm like, what the fuck? How did that happen? How did the universe pick up on that? It's because it's meant to happen. Yes, choinks is coming to a Urban Dictionary near you very soon.
Thank you so much. I'd like a t-shirt.
Right?
I'm making them. I'm making them.
I do have one question, and I don't know if it's considered a spoiler, but the pizza and the keg stand and turning that into its own thing. Whose idea?
Can we
Whose idea?
that a little bit?
I was like, I would be
how
choking.
much Domino's did y'all have to order? Because I'm thinking, Jose, I'm thinking you fed these people a meal.
Sure, it was pizza.
Bye. The immediate nod off to shore. Bye.
No, so that was in the outline. It is a plot point that we didn't have. There's a lot of stuff in the outline, like we don't have time to pay that off in a way that feels without too expositioning. I didn't want to get expositiony because then it feels like you're making a movie and not like a real thing. So in the script, in the outline, it says Brett eats a ton of pizza. So like, I was like, okay, JJ, so here's what we're gonna do, man. You're gonna lay down and they're just gonna shove pizza in your face. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. Done. That's how that happens. There's your answer. We just fed him, and he was okay with it.
I was so full. I ate so much pizza. See, before that, I was already eating pizza because I was hungry. Then they force fed me pizza. Then in another scene, I'm eating pizza. And then for lunch, I was eating Taco Bell. Like after that, after shooting, I was gonna puke, man.
I wish I had your
full.
dietary regimen. Oh my God.
It was. I definitely gained like 100,000 pounds, man. But it was great. I mean, food tasted great. What am I to complain about? I was fed.
Did Scott and Shelby, did y'all get to partake in any like behind the scenes pizza keg stand moments, anything like that for either of you?
No pizza keg stands, but I'm no stranger to the magic of dominoes, and I was sneaking as much as I could without the sound guy getting upset with my chewing sounds.
Oh, yeah.
And okay, I mean, we need to ask you this, Scott. What accent are you doing when you're narrating the pizza eating?
That's like the Australian animal narrator, kind of like a Steve Irwin
Okay.
thing.
Bye.
Okay.
That's just what I was feeling in that moment, and I said yes to it.
Yeah. And Shelby, bestie, what about you? Pizza keg stands, accents? Oh my. Like what? Tell me.
No, I didn't. I did not do any Australian accent in this movie.
Not in this one.
No, I do. I think I do remember being like pretty hungry while we were filming that scene, but like I don't. I didn't.
Why is that?
That was all JJ. That was all JJ. We left it up to JJ, I guess.
Well,
JJ, I'm so glad you shared, you know?
Luckily, we got a lot.
Just doing my part.
I want to Exactly. One thing I want to highlight for Shelby, she didn't get to do pizza, but she did do dancing. She's she's a pretty great dancer, and there's the scene in the movie where she's teaching the other two of the other girls how to dance. That was impromptu. I was like, hey, I saw your Instagram, you're dancing. Now you're gonna dance in this movie. And then it literally was the first thing we shot on day 2. So there you go. Do you want to talk about what you put together there, Shelby, or is there no
Please,
story
oh
behind
my
those
God, go
moves?
tell me. Well, now we have to know.
I showed up to set and Jose was like, dance, and I was like, oh. Oh. It was Anna and Neely for that scene. Neely did not want to be there for that. I love Neely, bless her heart. She was like, do I need to be in this scene? I think it was like, I mean, it literally, we showed up and got in wardrobe, hair and makeup, and we were like, hey, shoot this scene, and I think we were like the 3 that were ready. Yeah, so we went outside, and I was like, okay, we're doing this little footwork thing, I suppose. I don't know. Here's some foundation. I gave him a proper lesson. I'm kidding. It was not at all. Whatever happened, happened. I don't know.
It was
It looked good,
it
though.
was a good, I was gonna say it was a really well done scene. And I think going back to like the character development between all of you, this movie, watching it, was like, I was thinking to myself, like, this could happen. Like, a bunch of people can get together and be like, you know what, we're bored. Let's go to an abandoned house. Like, let's just let's really, like, let's fuck up our college lives. You know what I mean? Like,
I
let's
mean,
just have, let's carb overload. Let's fucking do this. Maybe someone cheated on someone. We don't know, but what we do know is we're gonna go to a back room.
it's like I know.
Performance-wise, in terms of how we approach the character work, honestly, this is my 9th movie. This is the most fun I've ever had working with actors making a movie of all time. This is what I love the most. My favorite is writing. Second favorite is working with the actors. And here I got to work with, I mean, everybody was a blank slate, and we all came in. We want to make the best fucking movie we can. How do we do that? And I wanted them to kind of get to know who they were, so I never called them by their real names, as I tried not to. They would address me as Master, so that we all had names.
Not the sex dungeon reference again, Jesus.
This is different. I stopped talking about that. You're the one who brought that shit up. I'm done. I'm done with that.
Look at how you're dressed, sir.
Yeah, what? This is my Tom Cruise. It's because the light's bright and my eyes hurt. Anyway. Is this video? No one's gonna see this. Okay, so I would take them aside and would say, okay, how did you guys meet? How old were you when you met? What do you think about this character? And then something that I asked everybody that I didn't tell everybody I was doing, I would take them all individually aside and I say, who do you hate the most in your group? And then they would all think about it. They'd look over and be like, I kind of, and then because I wanted to get at the root of how everybody really felt about each other, the characters, and I wanted them to kind of keep that present in their mind. Like there's things that's, and that really informs, I think, the performance. I mean, absolutely, because they feel, I mean, again, I'm speaking from the point of the guy who made it, who was there watching that and sort of tweaking the process. But it feels genuine to me. They really feel like friends, and that's the thing that bugs me the most when you watch something like this. Like, these people aren't friends. I can't believe that any of these people would hang out. This dialogue doesn't feel genuine. None of this interaction feels believable. And in a situation like this, people would just be yelling and freaking out, and that's what we get. That is a genuine reaction. And I just love the fact that the actors were willing to not only be malleable to the idea, but willing to play and go there. And I'd ask them questions like, what's your character's favorite movie? What's things that you wouldn't really think about, but I think it helped really cement the reality of it as much as possible at the end of the day.
I love that. I mean, with JJ, Scott, and Shelby, with you guys hearing that, with so much trust being like bestowed upon you, how do you feel now that it's done?
Yeah, how do you feel now?
Not to like put you guys on the spot or anything, that like the director of the movie that you guys just shot is like in this room, but like, how do you feel?
I'm right here.
No, it felt very rewarding to go up and to see it all unfold on the screen too, just to kind of, because you have this experience as an actor of how good it feels to be there on set and to be making friends and creating something from the ground up. Mm-hmm. And not every time you watch it back and are like, wow, like this is real, this is cool, that this is as much fun to watch as it was to do. And the environment that Jose really created was just something that was genuinely so fun, and it worked on set and in the audience. So it's just a testament to the kind of stuff that Jose can really run and put together in such a short time.
Well, now I owe him $50.
Dang. And we were witnesses, so we get like a percentage. Thanks, Jose. Love you.
I didn't sign that contract, but anyway.
You didn't have
sorry.
to. I'm just kidding. It was in the dungeon. No, I'm kidding. Shelby, JJ, how do y'all feel after hearing?
Yeah, it is like, it was like I said earlier, like if everything flowed really well, and I think we had so much fun on set while making the movie, and I think that reads on screen. And like Scott was saying, it is really rewarding when you shoot something and you have such a fulfilling experience and you're able to watch it after and see what you created. And because in the in this industry, it's like you film something and it's so different in post, so it's really fun to watch it all come together. And we weren't all there for like all the scenes we were filming, so it was fun piecing everything together and watching it like on screen as a cast and seeing what we created.
That's awesome. It's beautiful.
No, yeah, everything was just fun. Like Jose made everything fun. He was always just he was always thinking of great spots. Like everything, like in the moment, the cast, everybody made it really fun. Seeing it after, I was like Shelby said, like, yeah, I didn't see everything, so especially like seeing certain scenes, I was like, what? I didn't know that happened. I was like, there's some things I just had no idea was like going on. No, that made it fun. I was like intrigued because I was like, I knew what I did, but like there's moments where like I was just like eating my Taco Bell, so I don't know what was happening. It was definitely a very rewarding
Not the
experience because
talks.
I think everything turned out well. No, yeah, literally, I ate so much Taco Bell. That's besides the point. But no, I ate so much.
The way
Just
my blood
overall, like,
sugar
the
would
experience was
spike.
fun. The movie was fun.
I love
No,
that.
it's
I
fine.
will say, if I'm remembering the movie correctly, I don't want to give anything away, but Shelby, if I'm not mistaken, you have like, there's a particular instrumental interaction you have in this movie with, am I thinking of the right person?
Instrumental.
Like something,
Wait.
does something meet the top of the head?
Yes, you are thinking correctly. Yeah.
Instrumental?
An instrument.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, my brain was
thinking,
not
like,
training. I'm sorry, the
yeah.
math was not mathing for me.
No, not the Titanic violins, Jose.
That's where my mind goes.
How, like, I don't
There
want to
was
give
plenty of room for him to get on, but whatever. Sorry.
Different movie.
Yeah.
Wrong. Way different. I like. Oh my gosh.
Not that different. It's pretty similar, bro.
Sir, last I checked, I don't think any of the actors in this movie were drawn out like French girls at all.
It got cut. It was I drew Scott and it got cut.
Oh my gosh.
That was
No,
in
but
the dungeon.
this damn dungeon. Wait, no, but Shelby, like that was one of those things, like as an audience member watching it, I was like, oh, this is a cool shot. How was that experience for you to like transform into it, be a part of it? Tell me more.
I was the most excited for that scene. As soon as because we knew certain things were gonna happen, that scene I was the most excited for. And it was as fun as I thought it was going to be. I believe, yeah, that was the last thing I shot. I just remember being really cold and I like twitched at one point and I was like, no, don't do that. And then
Stop.
I drove home looking essentially like that at like 7 a.m. And I was like, no one perceived me. So yeah, but it was very fun. It was very, very fun. Yeah.
That was quite the finisher kind of moment. Like
Yeah.
that.
They let me get bloody. Asylum doesn't normally like gore, but part of the freedom was like,
well,
yeah.
then they greenlit this. Like,
Well, initially it wasn't. Initially, none of that really happened. As a matter of fact, most of the third act isn't really what happens in the outline. I mean, kind of.
Oh.
But the fate of the characters, I should say, was left up to me. And they said, go nuts. And I was like, okay, you got it. I'm in.
And bonkers he went. So page 18 didn't have anything like.
I don't remember. To be honest, I only read so far. I'm like, I'm good. I got
the prompt. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. I also want to ask for Scott again, without giving too many things away. You were also greeted with an instrument.
Drums.
You were. How was that for you?
It felt fine for me. I just feel confident in my ability for
It felt fine. Yeah.
That's
a
good.
sort of. Well, we did it in a very safe manner. I felt confident in my abilities to do said stunts and to be around the instruments with the proper precautions.
The way you said the word instruments, friend,
that violin really was strong, but
Yeah.
no, it was a safe set. I at any point in time never felt that I was in danger or that I was going to get hurt. It was it
nice.
Yeah, quickly. It wasn't safe, honestly. I was full of black widows and the floor was breaking apart. The
Hell
ceiling was
no.
caving in and there was hobos with knives. So luckily we got out there
Did
with
you
our
cast
lives.
those hobos as the masked figures? Because like
A couple of them, yeah.
you
A
know,
couple, yeah.
free labor.
Exactly.
Just kidding. JJ, how was it for you going through your stunts and everything? We'll call it that. We'll call them stunts. That's what we'll do.
The stunts was absolutely amazing. I was looking forward to said scene throughout the entire time. It was safe, I would say, with the instruments that was bestowed.
I started a damn trend.
I want to say more without saying it, but I don't know how to word it. But otherwise, I feel like that was my favorite part.
I love that.
I will say for JJ, maybe he wants to skirt around this. There is a part where he has to be blinded, so he can't see at one point, and so we had two people leading him through this serial killer dungeon set. And you know, luckily he didn't. I don't think you didn't bump into anything, right? You're all right. He's fine.
I was doing okay, yeah. I mean, I definitely did bump into things, and I was like, I kept tripping, and I was like, and then like it was funny because I was trying to guess where I was, and I was like, I have no
Stop.
idea where I am. I was like, I was like, I don't know where I am, and then like I actually like when I was given eyesight again, it felt weird because I was blinded for a minute.
And then he started yelling, take him away, pull out my eyes. I'm like, geez, dude, calm down. He committed too much to what was happening.
You know
Very
what?
blindfold.
Maybe we don't want to make cameos in a Jose film. I don't know. Like maybe but if there's any BTS footage of the stuff Jose is talking about, if y'all just want to airdrop that to me, that'd be superb. Just so the way I'd go viral again.
They're not allowed. They're not allowed. They signed an NDA. They're not allowed to show what happened behind the scenes.
Damn it.
To take my word for it, they had a fantastic time. And they're alive.
I love it.
Okay, so going back to the script or the outline. So we saw that Lilith is the like ideal, right? The topic. Why was it so important to highlight her? Like what made that choice? Because normally when you think of we'll go with demonic or whatnot, you usually don't jump to Lilith first. You usually jump to like one of the demons that's part of that little underground stuff like
Lucifer,
that. So
you know,
yeah,
so cute.
Okay, so I will take responsibility for Choinks and Lilith. She was not in the script. It was a thing where I mean, I guess the cat's out of the bag. It's not real footage. These are actors. But the asylum, yeah, I know, everyone's stunned.
You mean to tell me I got my Ouija board out for fucking nothing?
No, you can still use that. It's cool. It's cool, bro.
Fucking Jose.
you can still make some communications. Go ahead.
I'm gonna text
go
my
ahead.
grandmother.
Do it.
No.
Please, let me know what she says. So the asylum didn't want to do credits. So we're like, okay, well, we're not gonna begin the movie with just cutting to the thing. We need a thing. So my setup, my concept is this is a recruitment video for the Cult of Lilith. This is there you see the guys filming the security cameras, whatever. They're just showing what Lilith has done, for lack of a better word, to other victims. So this is kind of like their Claire's ear piercing
Sinclair's ear piercing. Oh my god.
recruitment video. That's kind of what the idea.
This is the Lindsay Lohan gets an ear piercing at camp, whatever, in Parent
basically.
Trap. Yeah, no,
That's where my head was at. Lindsay Lohan getting her ears pierced.
That's a comparison. That's Jesus.
And then Lilith, I was like, well, what should we call this thing they're worshiping? And I went through the list. I'm like, well, it's got to be Lilith. Just jumped out at me. I don't know if she whispered in my ear. I was like, it's me. Let's do me. I'm like, you got it. You're in.
Ooh, what?
The Ouija board.
I know a dungeon we could explore, Lilith.
Hey, so
But I
the
didn't say what kind of dungeon.
the amount of sage I would bring with me onto a Jose Prendez set is just instrument. The amount of pizza JJ ate is the amount of sage I'm bringing. Like that.
Hey, ghosts are scared of me. Like
Ooh.
literally. I'll say that. But
Yeah.
story for another time. Well, we've never done a paranormal episode. We should actually do
We should
Mm-hmm.
a paranormal episode.
whenever you want to come on to do that. Listen, honestly, I just know an unsweetened iced tea hates to see me coming, and that's about as paranormal as it's gonna get.
I get that.
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
With not to give it away, with the ending, was your idea to kind of leave it up for interpretation, or do you have an idea for like further? Is this something?
Yes. It's weird when it comes to sequels. Like
Mhm.
I just got a sequel greenlit for my Exorcist movie, which is great. So hope we're doing that next year. Sequels are weird, and it really depends on what happens. I really wanted one for Monster Mash. That's still up in the air.
No, we want one too.
I know. They go on vacation. It was gonna be great. Anyway, so for this, yes, there is room
Mhm.
for a sequel. The outline, it was 20 pages of exposition. So it explains I don't want to go into detail, but it explains everything.
Mhm.
Because of extenuating circumstances, we couldn't explain everything in a way that
Mhm.
I felt didn't sound like shit. Like this is gonna sound like bullshit. I would rather it be a full-on scary movie with
Mhm.
questions than one with stupid answers. So that's where we went.
No,
I
I
love that.
wholeheartedly appreciate that. It reminds me truly of found footage because you're not going to have all the answers if you just find this random tape and it's just got this stuff on there and you're like, what the fuck just happened? How did you get here? What are you doing? So,
Literally
no, I
me when I
appreciate
was
it.
literally me when I was texting Chrissy, I'm like, why the fuck did this happen? And she was like, Nino, it's found footage. I'm like, can they find the rest of it maybe? Because I'm very much like, I like answers and I'm very like, I need to escape the fact that like, Nino, leave movies up to interpretation. And once I kind of got into that mindset finishing the film, I was like, okay, there's like some dark and eerie shit going on here. And I want to know how certain people got involved that were in the dungeon, and then I want to know if Mr. John had anything to do with pioneering it. Like those things were like running through my mind.
I'll tell you off camera, but yes, there are answers.
I love it. We want to take a moment to just give you guys an opportunity to also talk about like what you've got coming up next, where our audience can reach you, and just kind of like head into a little bit of a wrap up. So maybe Shelby, Scott, or JJ, one of you guys can take the reins and tell us like, what you've got coming up, where people can find you and all that good stuff.
All right, so I actually am. So I'm still auditioning, looking around for stuff right now. But me and my buddy's a stuntman. He's a genius, so he's been writing a bunch. He's directing, and we're trying to actually produce some of our own stuff. We have a psychological thriller coming up. My Instagram handle's my same name, which I'll probably post on there and on YouTube. So we're just gonna try just submitting to film festivals, seeing where we can go with some things. Like honestly, Jose kind of like inspired me a little bit because like his main thing he kept saying that I kept saying after, he was like, all right, let's make a fucking movie. And I was like, yeah, you're right, yeah, okay, yeah, let's just make a movie. Like that's kind of sick. Like I don't know. So now I'm just I'm trying to look at that aspect of things as well while I'm waiting for other projects to come up.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Also, Choinks. He keeps saying Choinks a lot in his
I'm
daily
gonna need
life.
you to pick
Yeah,
the damn
Choinks.
word.
It's Choinks.
You got some of my friends and my roommates saying choinks, so it's happening. It's happening.
You know
My
what?
roommate will come in the
Makes
room
me
and be like
happy.
choinks.
Yes. That's it. I'm done. I've retired at this point.
You know what? I think after this episode, I'm gonna go get me a Twinklet chip cookie.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! Scott, Shelby, tell us a little bit about what's next and where we can find you.
Yeah, I am best found on Instagram at Scotty Maz with 3 Z's.
Oh,
There's a jerk with the 2 Z's that won't let me have it.
fucking asshole.
I know, but I have my next movie coming out in the summer that is also with Jose, Killer Doll, will be available, I'm sure, in similar capacities as Heretics once that comes out. And other than that, just doing the indie filmmaker, actor dream, festival circuits, whatever I can find myself into and work my way in.
Beautiful.
Yes, Killer Dolls with Jose and Scott. That will be coming out June or summer-ish, I guess. Maybe we don't know yet. I have a music video coming out. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about it. I believe it's coming out in January, and working on some of my own projects. Oh, and you can find me on Instagram. It shall be right.
That's awesome. Thank you. And then we've been hearing a whole bunch of mentions of Killer Doll. I know we're obviously talking about Heretics 2024, but Jose, tell us a tidbit, a snippet, something about Killer Doll that, you know?
I love Heretics, but I love Killer Doll.
Damn.
I mean, and now here's the thing: Killer Doll's been in my head for over a year. I grew up watching Chucky and Dolly Dearest and all the Puppet Master franchise, which I almost directed one, but whatever. It's a story for another time. So I love puppets. I love toys. I love dolls coming to life. That concept is great. And I wanted to do one for the longest time, and I came up with a concept that I think is such a novel approach on that idea. I said, "Oh, this is great. I'm gonna make this." As luck would have it, the Asylum was looking for a doll movie, and I pitched them the idea. And I thought, well, it's outside the box. And I thought they were gonna say no, they want something like blah blah blah. But they went for it. They're like, we love it. Let's go. I'm like, amazing, because it was. I don't want to say anything, but you guys will see it. You'll love it. It's great. And being able to bring it to life with the caliber of actors that I was lucky enough to get was the most rewarding experience. Probably the most rewarding experience. Heretics was the most fun I've ever had working with actors. Killer Doll was the most fun I've ever had bringing one of my scripts to life. And in a way where every time I would look at the monitor, I'd be like, this is surpassing what I had in my mind. And it's almost never that. It's always like, well, we'll do it this way. Fine, okay, we'll go with that. And we just finished the director's cut. The producer just emailed me notes. I haven't looked at it yet because I'm scared, because they're pretty critical. But my editor says they sent a lot of compliments, so that's good. It is, I think, my best Asylum movie. I think it's I honestly, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to blow smoke up my own ass. That's for other people that I paid to do. But I love it so much, in an almost obsessive way, that I can't speak about it without getting emotionally invested in it, because it's like I love all these characters, and I love the way. Man, I just want to just send you guys the director's cut so you can see what it looks like.
Do it, I dare you. Send it to both emails, please.
Maybe, I don't know. It's so good. But anyway, yeah. So that's coming out in June. Right now we're in post, and it'll be out. It should be out sooner, but they're gonna hold it till June. But I'm excited. Incredible cast in that as well. My buddy Bix, who was in Monster Mash, returns, and co-starring with Shelby, and they kill it. I mean, it is incredible performances. I think it's gonna do very well. At least I hope so. And if not, whatever, it'll be for me. And I liked it. Then we've got Exorcist 2, which is shooting in September. That may or may not happen, depending on whether they will give me more time to do that. Because it's stressful to do these things on a 6-day shoot, which Killer Doll was a 6-day shoot.
Oh, wow.
And then potentially, fingers crossed, I have a bigger movie we're raising money for. Fuck it, I'll just say it. It's called Devil in the Details. I've got Scout Taylor Compton, Lynn Shay, Doug Bradley, and Sean Whalen attached, and we looking to shoot actually kind of June, but we'll shift it around. That one is, I described it as Hellraiser meets Heat. So it's really outside the box, really fucking unique, but I love that script. And if I'm able to put that together, I think that's going to be the one that gets me, I don't want to say out of the Asylum gutter, but, into the next,
Tier.
a tier. That's the word, yeah. But I really do want to do Exorcist 2 because I like those characters. So I don't know. We'll see. But that's Killer Dolls right now, my focus, and then trying to get maybe another found footage movie done because I really had fun with it. And they're so easy to do, and I like the fact that I get to work with actors on a very instinctual level. That's fun. TBD, but Killer Doll for 100% sure.
Hell
That's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. Okay, so as we wrap up, For you guys, all of you, all four of you, can you describe Heretics in one word?
Choinks.
Well,
the
JJ,
catchphrase.
there goes your line.
Choinks.
J-
I think my real word would probably be just fun. Yeah, that's been such a central theme. I will say fun.
Fire.
Okay. All right.
It's a choice.
Skibbity
Shelby,
toilet.
what is these Gen Z?
I'll say thrilling.
Thrilling.
Okay.
I like choinks, fun, fire, thrilling. Chrissy, I mean, for us as viewers, how would you describe Heretics in one word?
I don't know, because I described it in like a few. It was my ideal found footage of like actual true found footage of like teenagers going, finding the location because they're bored, and then basically fucking around and finding out.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That's what it was.
Honestly, I would describe it as Gen Z as fuck. Like, it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Genuinely, Chrissy and I, as viewers, we loved it. And JJ, Scott, Shelby, Jose, thank you for sharing all of like the wonderful knowledge and the preparation that went into all of this. We'll be sure to keep your socials linked so our audiences can reach out to you guys. But Chrissy, do you want to wrap us up or should I take us home?
You can take us home.
Okay. I've missed saying this. It's been 2 months. But once again, Paranormal Misfits Podcast is a part of the You Run Podcast Network. And if you are an audience member who would like to talk about sponsorship opportunities for season 2, the show notes, read them. Thanks. And listen, as we wrap up, we know you don't want to leave, but since you have to go, you might as well creep out. Bye.
Bye.